Hey now, Sim Sports fans, and welcome to Thingy-Majig's racing channel. And guess what? It's Friday night, and we are back once again with the world racing community. And what have they been cooking up for us for the beginning of this year? Hey, what have the chefs been doing in the kitchen? Well, we have the Sports Car Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get you up to scratch with the rules. World Racing Community, Season 6, the WRC Sports Car Cup. The race regulations, balance of performance will be on. The tyres are at ×3, but mediums only. Fuel is at ×3 with a refuel rate of 5. Is this working? Doesn't sound very loud. Yeah, you got to turn it up a bit though. Okay. The car class is Group 4. I wonder why. I wonder what. I've seen these guys do nothing but Group 3s and above. I thought Group 4 was below them, but no. I like Group 4 cars, I've got to say. They're on the edge. There's not as much downforce. I don't know. They're just a little bit more fun. They slide a little more. And you can throw them around a little more. I like Group 4 cars. Unrestricted pick, we are encouraging the use of non-meta cars as to promote a more varied look at the grid. This is especially so for the faster drivers in their respective classes. It's usually a 90-minute race with 2 mandatory stops, but tonight, ladies and gents, we have 2 hours of Daytona road course. Yes, you lucky little devils. And that's everything. Qualifying will start at 8 for 10 minutes. And they'll all be out there. Right, if you want to, there is 2 categories of races here, but we don't have to concern ourselves until the next round because of the tables and such what. But the GT1 drivers are using white headlights. The GT1 class sticker on the rear of the car. The windshield banner coloured in full. We'll work out the colour. Is this qualifying? It looks like it. The GT2 drivers, I've got yellow headlights, GT2 class sticker on the rear of the car, and the windshield banner colour is a different colour. We'll see when we get to looking at the colours. So I said we're at Daytona. Oh gosh, we've got some chats. Yeah, we've got some some people trying new things. Oh, and Sinister. The quick answer is yes, when you watch this later, to your Discord message. Asked if I was streaming. Bless him. So, oh yes, my God, 2025 is here, and the first stream of the year is a big E. It's going in with a bang. Look at him coming out, streaming out of the pits. And look who's back. Back again. Tell some friends, Booster's back. Out of retirement, like some of the best that you can't hold back. Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso. He came back, didn't he? He retired and came back, yeah. And Kimi Raikkonen. Like those classic champion drivers, Boosted has returned, like the prodigal son. MJ, the brainiac behind all of this, the whole world racing community in a Bugatti. Brave, some would say. Brave. A very heavy rocket ship. A fancy looking boat. But MJ fears no car. First time here racing the season in a VR. So he's got a green banner on his windshield. Incognito, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome to the group. Oh, he's got a rusty old. Please tell me I don't. Is it McLaren? I used to have a button on sports I could press, and it got the cars up. So, yeah. Incognito. The rumour on the old pipeline is he's all right. He's a bit fancy in a car. even though he looks like he's dragged it out of the barn. He is rather swift. Apparently this is the reason why Boosted came back. Autosports, and we all love a bit of autosport in our life. He had an absolute killer of a season last season, and he'll be wishing to replicate that coming into this 10-round season in Group 4 cars. Like I said, this one's a 2-hour race, but there'll be an hour and a half on the reg. And Autosport there going a little wide as Boosted whips on by, and you see Boosted with the pink, so I imagine they are the GT1 group, with the green being the GT2. I just believe it gives more people a chance at podiums and wins, because some of the aliens on board this ship you don't have a look in. If it's not Boosted, it's going to be Sinister. I believe Deacon Do not as keen on the longer races, so I don't believe he's signed up. But other big news, if I annoy you, which is easily done, you can check out Chunky, I think. Oh no, because there's no Deacon Do. It's just our man Chunky. The Chunk Meister is streaming on YouTube from his aspect. So the times are starting to come in, ladies and gentlemen. Boosted absolutely pulverising his lap time, with Garuda just setting third, Bob second fastest. We saw him briefly last season. Oliver in the Cayman is fourth so far, doing very well. Cognito in I'm sure it's a McLaren, but I could be wrong, and I really am worried now. Is it a Honda? Is it a Honda NSX? It's a Honda NSX that I'm calling McLaren, you know. This is why it's embarrassing that I do this for fun, for shees and giggles, because I know that's a Merc. So let's have a look down then. So Boosted is in a Ferrari, I believe, and he is on pole so far and going faster again. Bob is in a Shag or a Martin? That's a Shag. McLaren. Thank you. Yeah, McLaren, I got it right the first time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not as embarrassing. The fact that I questioned myself and thought it was oh no, Chunky Ribena. I know that's not going to be his livery. Oh no, that's not Chunky Ribena. Yeah. Is that his livery? See, he would have a superb livery, so I might try and nip out and nip back in between qualifying and race. So it doesn't look like all of the liveries have loaded up. But Chunky Ribena in a Genesis, I believe. Garuda, that's a Honda. There you go. He's in the NSX, is Garuda. Boosted's teammate last season. Another Welsh warrior. Baying for blood. But look at this at the moment. We've still got to get Boosted half a second faster. Oof. Did someone go into the pits by accident there? It looks like it, although they do have tyre wear on. Incognito, second in the McLaren. Bob, third. It's going to be tight this season, ladies and gentlemen. Oliver doing a fantastic job in the Cayman, fourth fastest. Chunky in the Genesis is fifth fastest so far. We're over halfway, way over halfway into the session. Thunder is sixth. Is that him lagging around all over the shop? No, it's the pink one. He's in a, I want to say Lambo. I think Lambo. It's wedge shaped. I don't know. A Garuda have we seen already in a Honda. And we've got Adnap. That's a sexy looking livery, if ever I saw a sexy looking livery. And Adnap then I want a closer look before I make assertions. Oh, that's the old Nissan, isn't it? It's the yeah, they're quite a handy car, but I don't think they're overly fast. So Adnap's going to struggle this season. Although when I raced in a Group 4 race with one of them, they were very fast. So maybe this is not the track for it. Although he is nearly 4/10 up on his own time. Boosted, edging the pole time out even further. And Autosport moving up into 8th. But Garuda has put a time in higher. 2/10 for Adnap at the moment as he makes his way around the oval. Oh, as I sip on the hot brew, cracking stuff. So Adnap then, holding fast, lost a little bit of time between the last two sectors. Can he gain? He does, he's in 10th though. It's a tight field, ladies and gentlemen, a very tight field indeed. Sinister only sitting in 11th at the moment in the Mercedes, but it's that, ladies and gents. It can be a race winner, but it's a tough drive. It's a tough negotiation. I've heard you have to be aggressive. I was too smooth with it. Chunky Ribena posting a time. We'll check out where he is. MJ in 12th in the monster boat, in the Bugatti. Can't even get into the corner in that beast, but he is up. So he's going for a faster time, ladies and gents. Sinister has set a faster time. It's going to be a shuffle, this grid. It's going to be hard to keep up with. We're sticking with MJ, but MJ is so far away from the finish line. And he's lost a huge amount of time. Huds is with us, sitting in 13th at the moment in an Audi. And we have Reckless also. What is it with the Genesis? They're just not loading in their liveries. Also in a Genesis. So Bob going faster again as we come up to the final part of qualifying. Bob has managed to get the shag up and into second place, still 6/10 drift of the very, very swift Boosted. Incognito is still within a second, 7/10 from Get Boosted, and only 500, so he's going faster again now. Incognito is trying to get that second place again. Reckless posts a time. Chunky is 4th, Garuda 5th, Thunder is 6th, but Adnap's just popped it into 7th there, ahead of Sinistor in 8th. We're looking at Incognito at the moment as he makes his way around. Ven Blue, I haven't even seen Ven Blue. Where is he? Ven Blue in 8th. Very good for Ven Blue. Don't know if he's still got a lap to go. It looks like he has. No, he's done. And so is MJ. So a few of them are finishing. Boosted is on his final run. It's just behind Incognito. Incognito might be giving Boosted a little bit of a tow here, and he is looking like he's going to go faster than Bob. Where is Bob? Bob's there as well. They're grouped up, ladies and gents. They have grouped up, towing each other. Poor Incognito, no tow for him as he comes around. And can he pop ahead of Bob? He does, but Bob's there as well. And Boosted does go faster again, so Boosted goes nearly 6.5 tenths faster than the rest of the field now. I wonder. Right. Results. Oh, I'm sorry, Chunky. I really want to see your livery, but... So, Boosted then, we've got to do the rundown. On pole, Incognito in 2nd, Bob is 3rd, Chunky Ribena in 4th, Garuda starting in 5th, Sinister is starting 6th, Thunder 7th, Adnap is starting in 8th. That's the champion from last season, remember. Ven Blue is starting in 9th, Oliver in 10th. Then we have Autosport in 11th, MJ starting in 12th in the Veyron, Reckless 13th, and Hoods starting in 14th in the Audi. But the times, ladies and gentlemen, are rather tight. Deacon Do in the chat saying the individual champion. Oh, and the team champion was Sinister and Deacon. 2015 to start, so I'm going to nip out because you can see Chunky's got an awesome livery there and I'm not seeing it. So I'm going to quit out because it makes no difference to those guys. And hopefully the liveries will, well, actually, there is some things I can do from here. If I go up here, go to options. I should have done this before streaming, really. Oh, you do see that? Delete all my cookies. Cookies, be gone. We lost the cookies. And then we'll nip back into that room and hopefully all the liveries that are there should be downloaded. So Boosted starting the season as he means to go on pole position. But over a 2-hour race, can he maintain that? Nah, it's not going to show me those. So hopefully that has done the job and loaded in the liveries. And yeah, Deacon Do and Sinister were the team champions from last season. A great campaign. Oh. I can't talk and do other things, so let me just do this quick. There we go. And Chunky Rabina. Chunky Ribena in the chat. So you don't even have to go searching for him. Just click on that beautiful big C and he'll take you there. And Chunky Ribena saying boo. Yes, I know. Well, hopefully I've done what I can do. I've deleted my cookies and I've come out and come in again. So hopefully that's enough. Let's have a look. So, lined up on the grid. I can't see a Genesis, a horrible Genesis looking thing. So I think we are good. I think we have fixed our issues. Where is he? Yeah, baby. Oh, what an absolute banger of a livery as well. It was well worth doing. So Boosted in the Nesquik Ferrari, leading them away against the McLaren. Oh, it's like F1 season this season, and it's a go here at Daytona for 2 hours of racing, ladies and gentlemen, and Boosted off to a great start, and it looks like Bob is coming out the corner, fighting, he's swinging, ladies and gents, he's looking at the inside of Incognito. We know there was barely anything between these pair in qualifying, and Bob wants to enforce dominance on Incognito early doors. Chunky Ribena in fourth there, and he's going in for a late break on Bob, but too much space there, and Garuda looking closely at the behind rear derriere of Chunky Ribena. Sinister in sixth in the middle. Here, there we go, and Sinister's obviously livery didn't. Oh, late break on Sinister there, closed right up to Garuda, but it helps Thunder as well in the pink Lambo, close right in. Wow, this field is tight. Adnap in the Sylvia just ahead of the Cayman, and Ven Blue in a Shag picking up a penalty. Doesn't need that sort of issue. Autosport holding on for dear life in 11th place. It looks like Ven Blue is not Ven Blue. Oliver is going to go for a move on Adnap. Get in the toe, my lad. Get in the toe. You're missing some toe action. Now remember, this race isn't all about getting past your competitor. It's a long one, ladies and gents. That's what she said. It's a long one, so you might want to just sit in someone's slipstream and cruise for a while to conserve your fuel. Like we say, yeah.
That's going to be a huge difference in the race.
There you go. He's gone past now as Oliver. Beautiful stuff. But it looks like Adnap might get him in the braking. They've caught up with Thunder rather quickly. I don't know if Thunder has had to pay a penalty there or something. But Thunder and, Autosport and Adnap catching him up rather quickly as they come through. Bob's dropped back. Oh, my word. So, oh, no. Unsure what's happened to the Bob, but he has slipped back from, what was he, third, I think. He was behind Incognito, and it looks like Chunky has pulled the move off on him. And Garuda also sneaking one by. Sinister, oh, a little heavy from Sinister maybe. Some may say, it's not for me to say. But Sinister then, up the inside of Bob. Bob sliding out wide. And having to do a recovery, which wasn't terrible. I mean, 10th, but still within the group. And in the chat then, Deacon do saying bump draft my guys. Oh, they're allowed to bump draft in this series. Some series they like no bump drafting, but yeah, bump drafting, love that. Incognito is staying with the boosted. Get boosted cannot pull away from Incognito. It's beautiful. Chunky Ribena in a strong third place, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely solid work in the Genesis. Garuda also in the little Honda, the little train that can, is choo-chooing along nicely and being helped, I imagine, by that hefty old Genesis ahead of it, punching a huge hole in the air. And Garuda then pulling the trigger, going for the move. And Sinister still sitting in 5th. It looks like he's going to fight that with the stewards later in the race. And, a lovely batch of cars here. Adnap, Ollie, and the Thunder going at it with Bob and Ven Blue just behind. And, it's a three-way battle, 2 by 2. And it's Adnap, I think, on the inside of Oliver there, getting the job done, but Oliver now's got the inside line, so watch out Adnap, because Oliver's going to be gunning for that apex, and they're both through side by side still, and Adnap just ahead, under brakes. Adnap pulls off the move, and Thunder trying to get one done on Oliver, but Oliver is keeping his foot in there around the outside. He will not yield, ladies and gentlemen, he will not yield. And again on the Cayman, and the Lambo can do nothing about it whilst Bob fights his way back through the pack after his clash with Sinister. And we've got a lovely little train here, and Adnap is trying to shake them boys off. He doesn't want to be in that battle as he fights his way. Let's get on board with Bob, shall we? Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Getting a lovely toe, and he's trying to stay very close to the sides of the cars to get a little extra side draft. And he makes that move absolutely deliciously, and he is through. So Bob back up and into 7th, chasing down you know who. Get boosted then, he's building a buffer. He is building a buffer. They've used exactly the same fuel, Incognito and boosted. It is a showdown, ladies and gentlemen, between the pair of these drivers. Chunky Ribena is being harassed. Call the police. Garuda all over the back, and he's gone for the inside line there, and Chunky, there was not much he had to say about that one really. Garuda, it looked like he was going for the outside and then just swung it around onto the inside, and now Chunky Ribena gets to carry, well, I mean, he'll get a tow, but his car's like 2 foot higher than the NSX. I can't see how the tow would work with that one. And Sinister is taking no prisoners, ladies and gentlemen. He is on a mission. It is home dirt for him, and he wants to reign supreme in Flow Rider. And what a race we have on our hands. Adnap then up to 6th. He has fought his way through, and Bob is following him in that path. Thunder in 8th with Ven Blue in 9th. These guys in the thick of the action. Oliver slipping back and a penalty to boot, and he is going to be MJ's next victim, I am sure. Reckless there. I haven't seen much of Reckless, sitting in 12th place. Also in a Genesis, I believe. Yeah, of course, it's got it in Big Ryan on the back. It's a lovely livery, ladies and gentlemen. Chasing them down as MJ gets the move done on Oliver, under toe, into the break-in for the chicane, and a lovely job done by MJ. And oh my gosh, Adnap pulling off to one side. Has there been an incident? What is happening in Adnap? Adnap letting everyone by. I don't know if he's got a issue with something. Maybe his headset reset. Need plenty of light in your room for the VR. Boosted meanwhile 2.2 seconds ahead of Incognito, but Incognito is matching him. The fuel is exactly the same. This is absolutely bombastic. Garuda up to 3rd. We saw that as he got himself past Chunky Ribena, and now starting to build a little lead from the Chunky. Fuel exactly the same. So it looks like everyone is going balls out, ladies and gents. No fuel saving. They've pulled away from Sinister. Sinister was closing in on that battle between Garuda and Chunky Ribena, but seems to have slipped back slightly. Bob, oh dang, ladies and gents. Hold your cups, because Bob is on his way back towards Sinister. Now, shall we be cheeky and see where it all started? So, a few laps ago now, we see Sinister going for, well, Bob broke. Sinister didn't seem to need it. It was, I see why you want to fight that with the stewards. It wasn't really a heavy knock, was it? It was a little bit of it was a thing. It's a thing for the stewards to peruse. But now, Bob is on his way. I imagine at best Sinister probably should have pulled over, maybe, possibly, and let Bob back through again. Not now, but back when the incident happened, just to cover his bases. But then he would have lost a lot of places. So Sinister at the moment is probably the last name he'd like to see chasing him down. Reckless has left already. Thunder in 7th, doing an absolutely fabulous job. We'll try and work out. Oh, Ven Blue and MJ. MJ is on the hunt, ladies and gentlemen. MJ, from a slow start, is now burning into the pack. And what a beautiful move from MJ. My word, has he been practicing that over the Christmas period? What a lovely little dummy run at but Ven Blue on the way back up the inside, and there is nothing MJ can do about that. That is just absolutely cracking driving by the French driver, ladies and gents. MJ back into 9th. Adnap, whatever ailed him earlier, he's back on pace, and he's got Oliver breathing down his neck again. Oh, he was racing with Oliver earlier. Maybe he knocked Ollie out. So Hoods in the Audi, it's respectable for Hoods. He's staying with the pack. Consistency is key, ladies and gentlemen. And he is there. You can see the drivers ahead of him. Autosports dropped right out of this race. Has he pitted? It doesn't look like it. So Autosport has had a huge issue. Huge issue. Boosted then 3.4 seconds against Incognito. Fuel is still similar through the pair of them. And Boosted really having to graft some lap times down there to pull away. I mean, Incognito's able to do the 54s, but it doesn't seem like he can do them consistently. Garuda, though, 55.5. He's on his way. He's leaving Chunky. He's leaving Chunky behind. 55.3 from Chunky that last time around, though. Faster than Garuda's been all race. So Chunky is on the comeback, ladies and gents. He is trying to claw his way back up onto the podium. Under braking then Chunky Ribena having a look up the inside, pulling a Sinister, but Garuda managing to stay on track. And we're going to call that the Sinister move. Get boosted. Fastest lap under his belt as Incognito sees him slowly disappearing as we see the sun slowly head over the horizon. And the floodlights here at Daytona is breathtaking. I can't wait. It'll be very romantic. Garuda then in third, leaving Chunky. Chunky was closing in on Garuda. It looks like he backed off after that little bit of contact. Bob is ahead of Sinister. I'm sorry, I built it up and we missed it. And maybe Sinister didn't put up too much of a fight against Bob. No one looks damaged, everyone's on track, everything seems okay. So Bob then having to claw his way back into this race after losing that third place and then having a little bit of a bump and grind with Sinister, and now on his way back to the top. Thunder in the chat saying someone's mad on the comms right now. I wonder who. Awkward much? That's the problem when you have comms in race. So Bob then, oh, don't do it again, Sinister. And Sinister then is right on his tail, and this is, I'm sorry, the story of the race. Sinister goes for a lay break up the inside. He claims the apex. Bob's trying to come back, and oh, it's getting a bit nasty here. Let's calm our boots, boys. Let's just chill. Chillax. So Bob and Sinister, there it seems there's a bit of spite in this race, and it's your Friday night, guys, don't ruin it. Bob then in fifth, and Sinister, oh, imagine unhappy. Yes, a few flashes from the American. Thunder in seventh. It's good for him though. There's always a silver lining in every cloud, and for Thunder the whole Bob and Sinister saga is working out very nicely because he's closing in. Ven Blue ahead of Oliver, who's ahead of Adnap. Adnap has had a absolute journey during this race, from quite far back in a poor qualifying session, moving himself right up to, what was it, 7th or something, and then slipping back again. But I don't know if he had any coming togethers with people and backed off. But so far, Adnap only 4/10 behind the Cayman of Oliver, and it's he's proper giving him some beans there. And they're closing up on Ven Blue. Looks like Ven Blue has made a mistake. And these have got green banners, ladies and gentlemen. Thunder, let's have a look at your front of your car, Thunder. He's got a green banner. It's a black banner for Sinister, pink for Bob. So yeah, I think Thunder is leading the Group 2 category at the moment, doing an absolutely stand-up job as he closes in on Sinister. Sinister losing pace. Is it the tyres? Bob now 3.5 seconds ahead of him and on his way. Maybe Sinister has some kind of night blindness as Thunder closing in. Ven Blue, oh, I thought we just saw Oliver's back end give up on him, but it stayed intact. Beautiful stuff, the Porsche Cayman. I've got a fond place for that Cayman. It's a good car. And Ven Blue then in the Shag, doing a beautiful job in 8th place, fighting it out Oh, with Adnap and Oliver, these three have been hard at it for a while now. Where's MJ gone? I've lost me MJ. MJ should be in this fight by now. MJ, a dead last for some reason. Oh, fuel. He has pitted. He has pitted, ladies and gentlemen. That's quite early. He's not... Oh, maybe he's picked damage up. We do have full damage. So, in the chat, Vodka Rob saying, good evening, sir. How the devil are you? I am good, my friend. Vodka Rob also saying, I grew to love the Cayman as well. It was a good little car. As soon as you mess around with that brake ratio, it's a bit more settled. So, MJ... I reckon he's knocked something. He's given something a thwack, and he's had to go in and fix it, and he's taken on fuel at the same time, putting him down in 13th and away from the rest of the pack. Boosted so far 4.6 seconds ahead of Incognito, whom is 8.9 seconds ahead of Garuda. The top three nicely spaced out, but over 2 hours. It's all changed, ladies and gents, all changed. Chunky Ribena is keeping in the fight for the podium. And we're way over half tanks now. That puts us at a pit stop, I'd say around about lap 18. Lap 18 or 17 for our first round of pit stops. And Chunky Ribena doing an absolutely stand-up job there, chasing that down the Honda. Bob in 5th. 3.6 seconds. He's 55.8 last time around. The tyres are starting to get chewed up, but it shouldn't be affecting the drive. He's doing the same times as Chunky Ribena, and so he needs Chunky Ribena to drop off the pace somewhat. With Bob hunting him down. Sinister in 6th spot, 4 seconds adrift, and Thunder is closing in on Sinister. The Lambo has got some grunt, ladies and gents, and Sinister's going to feel that grunt pretty soon. If it's any consolation, Bob, I've driven that Group 4 Mercedes. It's not very drivable. Doesn't turn very well. It's a dog. It's a lemon. So I'm sure Sinister didn't mean... Who was it last season? It was Chunky and Deacon, wasn't it? They kept having bump gains. And this season we're going to have Bob and Sinister. I love it. The rivalry's starting already. As Thunder, punching above his weight, coming up to the GT1 drivers. And yes... He'll have to watch himself, or he's going to end up being promoted to the pink band. Right, oh, Sinister, a little bit of a wiggle as he come out of the corner, and Thunder is closing in. My friends, Thunder really looking now. Looks like the Lambo is very drivable at this point in the race, where it looks like Sinister is struggling with grip of some kind, and grip and grunt. Sinister's looking for, doesn't seem to have either. And the Lambo then is just gonna absolutely burn past. Now it's got the tow, and Sinister sitting tight at the moment, waiting for the inevitable pink Lambo to come flying by. He's right there, unless they bump. Now Thunder, bump draft him, he can catch up with Bob, and he'll pull you along as well. So as they both enter the chicane, and I think Thunder opted to do a bit of fuel saving there, I think, behind Sinister. Adnap in 8th. He's moved himself up 2 places. We missed that little battle between him and Oliver and Van Blue. But Adnap back on pace again in the little Nissan. But he's picked up a penalty. That'll be working nicely for Van Blue. Here he goes, just about to pay it. And we should see Van Blue then just breeze past the ailing Adnap as he pulls over and out of the way for the Jaguar. And Oliver just not quite close enough to get something out of that penalty. Huds, fantastic job from Huds at the moment. Just keeping pace, staying consistent. That's what you need to do. Autosport has caught him up though. And Autosport getting many podiums last season. Really came into his own in the Group 3 series. And he's some at 28 seconds ahead of MJ. MJ again bringing on the bad luck from last season, but he has had a pit stop, remember. He's out of sequence with stops. And they've got to make at least 2 stops, so he's already got one of them out of the way. Bit early, granted. I think he picked up damage and went and fixed it. So boosted 5.4 seconds, slowly but surely is pulling away from Incognito. Nothing between them. The tyre wear and the fuel levels exactly the same. It just seems like boosted is got. Ooh, he's gone into the 54s again as Incognito. And this is a fight, ladies and gents. I know there's a 5.5 second gap between them, but I still think there's a fight here to be had. Garuda 12 seconds adrift of those, but only 1.8 seconds ahead of Chunky. But the Honda doing better on fuel than Chunky is right now. But Bob is closing in. Bob is not playing. Sinister stayed ahead of Thunder in the end. But Thunder's fuel, well, no, it's about the same. Bob's used a bit more fuel than Sinister and Thunder. Adnap, he's burnt through the fuel. That Nissan thirsty car. Head of Vemblou. He must have regained that. Oh, the back end nearly going on the Nissan. And Vemblou having a hot look at the back of Adnap now. Let's get on board. Here we go. Let's enjoy. 24 minutes into the 2-hour race. Coming up to a quarter of the race done. I believe only one pit stop. And we think it could be for damage from MJ, who's hoping for a better season. But then he went and picked a boat. He picked a boat for a car race for some reason, and then wonders why it's not going so well. So Vemblou chasing down Adnap. I mean, in all fairness, that was the criteria. Is try. Oh, Boosted is in. Boosted is into the pits, and Cognito goes through. Cognito says no, sirree, no pit yet. So this is a tactical movement by a Boosted. He doesn't need the fuel. Maybe he wants some toes. So Garuda moves up and into second place. It's very strange move by Boosted there. Chunky Ribena, you'd think they'd run the engines dry. I don't think they'll probably take on tyres for the next stint. Bob is through as well with Sinister and Thunder. Boosted being serviced, but who can question his genius? It is a long pit stop, so the earlier stop might mean he doesn't have to sit in the pits as long, but he comes out behind Adnap with no penalties on his name. Interesting stuff then. Oliver, we've seen this battle all race with Adnap, Oliver and Vemblou. Vemblou dropping behind the pair of them, unfortunately. Autosport in 11th, trying to fight his way back. He's got himself up with Huds, but Huds giving him a race for his money. And Autosport, does he not know who you are, Autosport? Have you not told him? You need some of those podium stickers on your car to let him know. So Autosport then making his way past Huds, but he's got a penalty above his. He's got a mark on his name, ladies and gents. He has been mischievous with track limits, probably. So Autosport having to pay a penalty, and that will give Hoods the chance to get back ahead of the... Give me a second. I want to say... Is it a shag? No. It's a Lexus, isn't it? It's a Lexus. Yes, it's a Lexus. Sorry, Autosport. So Hoods on board. He should know. I would think he knows Autosport's carrying a penalty. Adam is back in the chat. All right, Adam, my friend. Have a good Christmas, did you? Good evening, everyone. Hi, Thingy. Hi, Adam. Hope you had a great Christmas. And I've heard there's a League 5 into the Ultimate Racing League. I hope, fingers crossed, you've got yourself all signed up to it. And here we go then. Hood's going for the move. He is through and he's up and at him. Adnap also in the pits. Adnap, he did need the fuel though, in all fairness. So Adnap into the pits. And Hoods is up and into 10th place, ladies and gentlemen. Ahead of Autosport, MJ and Adnap. Incognito still leading, but now he needs a pit stop. Garuda, did we see if Boosted... He did put a fresh set of tyres on, ladies and gents. I don't reckon he filled right up. So Boosted tactically going for a bit of a sprint race here. Thunder chasing down Sinistor, who is chasing down Bob, whose fuel is low. They're all low. Hey, Garuda might be able to go for a lap or two more, you know. Garuda might be in for a shout here with fuel economy. It might be good. So Incognito, we're assuming, is going to go to the left and come into the pits. Garuda possibly could stay out longer. And oh, no. It doesn't look like he is. Adam saying, Happy New Year, matey. I will have to check that out. Where can I find the details? Oh, didn't Unforgiven send you the Discord things? Oh, you'll have to look for me on Discord. It's VRC _ thingamajig. And add me to friend and I'll try and get you into the... I'll get you in, mate. I'll get you in. So Incognito, we saw, did pit. Now then. Boosted is chasing him down, and Boosted ahead of Cognito. Incognito still being serviced. My word. My word. I thought it was going to be closer than that, but Boosted absolutely. That's him going past the pit exit. Incognito still refueling, but we think Boosted put less fuel in, remember. Bob also being serviced, ladies and gents. Incognito out of the pits in 8th place, ahead of Autosport, behind Ven Blue, who is yet to pit. Oliver is yet to pit, and the K-Man is absolutely economical with that fuel. Boosted then out. Thunder doing well with the fuel as well. Garuda leads this race against Chunky. Chunky is on fumes. He's on vapors, ladies and gentlemen. Is he going to make the pit lane? That is a concern. Garuda, though, good amount. Oh, Adam Douglas saying not yet. So, Chunky. He's got to pit, and I imagine Garuda's going to pit as well. No, it looks like Garuda is in. Chunky in as well. He'd be a fool not to. I believe Sinister's going to be in as well. And Thunder also all following him in. So this is it. What's this? Lap 16. I was out a lap. And Boosted will retake the lead. And Oliver is... please, sir, can I have some more? The K-Man in Oliver's hands is doing just fine, ladies and gents. Oliver up and into 2nd place. Incognito, oh shoot, I'm all over the place with my buttons, isn't I? Is there in third, and the rest of them still in the pits, still being serviced. Autosport with that early stop, can MJ make a difference here? There's Bob, he's jumped up to fifth. MJ, oh, he's picked up himself a penalty, but he's not far behind Adnap, and Adnap was seventh when it all rinsed out. So that early stop may have helped MJ, but he's out of sequence now. And it's not, no. MJ up to 11th ahead of Ven Blue. But that, and he's gone wide in the boat again. It looks like he wished he put some tyres on it, maybe. Possibly. Adnap put new tyres on. So, Boosted is leading the race by 9 seconds to Oliver. Now, Boosted short pitted. He's short fueled, ladies and gents. And Incognito fully fueled. So, interesting between the two of them. Oliver, though, has absolutely made that Porsche go such a long way with the fuel, and as has Autosport as well, with Autosport's earlier dilemmas. He's back in the mix. Garuda in fifth, still ahead of the Chunks, but Bob is now closing in. He's got closer to Chunky Ribena. Chunky Ribena may have a fight on his hands soon. You can go to his YouTube channel and check out how he is doing right now. Sinister is in 8th, still chasing down the Bob, with Thunder in 9th and Adnap 10th. MJ in 11th, MJ out of sequence with Ven Blue, fresh tyres, full tank, chasing down MJ. Interesting. And Hood's there as pitted as well. And he seems to have dropped back a little bit there. He was closer to the pack. I don't understand how that's worked out. Autosport has gone into the pits. And I don't know where he's going to come out. It's going to be behind. He was fighting with Hoods, wasn't he, earlier? So Hoods might get a playmate just yet. We do not know. Boosted. Unbelievable driving now in the Ferrari. And he is being absolutely dominant, as you would expect. Oliver putting a twist in the tail of this race, taking that Cayman, and that'll get some people quite worried behind him, I believe. We're going to have some nervous sim racers on our hands. Oliver cracking on, as you would expect, doing a fabulous job as we reach the 35-minute mark, and Oliver yet to go into the pits. Incognito is catching him rather swiftly, though, in the McLaren. I think Oliver probably having to do a bit of fuel management coming around this final corner, and Incognito will be pleased for the tow, I am sure. Oliver, second place at the moment. Can he get himself in a podium position before the end of this race? In less than an hour and a half, we will find out. Boosted, absolutely driving like the demon himself, like Lucifer Morningstar. And Incognito on chase. Oliver into the pits. Garuda will move back up and into third spot, with Chunky Ribena on the chase as well. There we go. Bob getting ever closer to the Chunk. You can see the Chunk just ahead. And on board with Sir Bob of Bobalot, driving the Bobness, being an absolute Bob. And Chunky Ribena holding fast the Portuguese driver. If you go to YouTube channel, you'll see how Portuguese he is. He's doing a fabulous job. He missed a lot of last season through, I don't know, room move, new rig changing, illness. He had every excuse in the book. He wrote the book of excuses. But it's all back up and running now for 2025. The full chunk is on, ladies and gentlemen. Back on YouTube, back in the races. We are getting fully chunked. So check out his channel. Well worth a follow. Entertainment. Not like this dribble. I mean, remember, I couldn't work out what he was driving. Or someone. Oh, Incognito. I wasn't sure if that was a Honda or a McLaren. That's the quality you get here at Thingamajig Racing Channel. Garuda in third, who is actually in a Honda. With Chunky Rybina 1.8 seconds behind Garuda. And he will be begging for a tow from Garuda because Bob is absolutely bringing it to his back door. Fully loaded. And it looks like Sinister as well, still in a shout for this race. Anything could happen. Looks like Bob's got yellow lights. We'll have to address that, ladies and gentlemen. So Bob then, he makes short work of Chunky, but Chunky's still keeping his toe in there. But it looks like he is no match for the Shag, although the Shag a little wide there, and Chunky coming back with a vengeance at the Bob. But the Bob's going to have the inside line of this very fast corner, side by side, beautiful stuff. And now Chunky, if he can lay brake, can get into the apex, but he can't lay brake as much as Bob. And Bob absolutely left it lastminute.com for the braking on that one. And we know Chunky can leave it late on a brake, but the Bob there, he left it very much. In the olden days, he'd get that holiday off a teletext. Garuda in third, 21 seconds behind Incognito, and Incognito 13 seconds behind the Boosted. But they are on different pit strategies, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen. So Garuda third, Bob up into fourth now, ahead of the Chunky Rybina, and Sinister in the Merc-Shady is in sixth, with Thunder in seventh, doing an absolutely stand-up job. I believe he is the top GT2 runner, and yeah, championship material, Thunder. What are we talking here, my friend? What are we saying? What are we saying? Championship material, maybe? Possibly.
Adding you on Discord, but not sure if it worked, as haven't used Discord for a few years and so am unfamiliar.
So Thunder leading. I believe he's leading. I don't think any of those others, the other six ahead of him, are a greenie meanie. So Adam Douglas, try and add you on Discord, but not sure if it worked, as I haven't used Discord for a few years and so am unfamiliar. Well, it's something happened, my friend. I've got a notification and I've got a friend request from Real Big Trouble. Something else sent me a friend request I've just missed. Look at me, messing around on my phone during a race. How relaxed am I? That might. Right, yeah, after the race, my friend Adam, I'll get you all. Do you want to go in the WRC Discord as well? See what they're good. They chat a lot. Very active Discord. URLs is, they like Messenger more, Facebook Messenger, but the World Racing Community's Discord is, I can't keep up with it. Every time I open general chat, it's like 50 new messages. Brilliant. Adam said it worked. Cool. But yeah, well worth being in the World Racing Communities Discord. I've got to say, very active Discords, all times round as well, not just during UK times, because they've got a couple of Americans. It's sort of, the party goes on till 3, 4 in the morning, and as I work nights now, that's awesome for me. Boosted 14 seconds ahead of Incognito, but we do not know. I mean, I'm leaning towards Boosted's got this one wrapped up, as he is a very swift driver indeed, and Incognito is on a different strategy though, so it's not done and dusted. And Adam saying, yes please matey. Coolio. I'll see if I can do that. I'll see. I think I know how to do it. I'll try. Garuda in third, with Bob now in fourth, closing in on Garuda. 55.6 from Garuda last time out. Bob doing a 55.0. Bob is on an absolute comeback, ladies and gentlemen. He is not messing. Chunky Ribena keeping up with him. Don't forget you can catch his action on his YouTube channel. Sinister in sixth, keeping his head down now since the early shenanigans, hoping to pick up something from in front of him. Oh, yellow flag! It's Garuda! It's Garuda, my friends! My good golly gosh! He was riding high, ladies and gentlemen. Riding absolutely on a crest of amazement. What did he do wrong? Through the chicane. Oh, and he's asked it to go off-road. He asked the Honda. Honda not famous for their rallying, are they? They got a big famous rally car. That's not what they do the Dakar in anyway. So Garuda then off the road. Poor soul. Poor soul. What's gone on? What's this? Oh, my heart stopped, ladies and gents. I thought, that's it, we're out. We're only 44 minutes into the race, and I thought, we are stuffed. No, he didn't get no damage. No, that's good. Yeah, you're right, Deacon. Deacon in the chat saying not Garuda, and Deacon do saying no damage at least. No damage, thank the Lord above. Chunky Bob in a fight now. Bob didn't have to go up to Garuda. Maybe it was the pressure of... And Garuda back in the fight behind Thunder. Thunder's up to 6th now, ladies and gentlemen. The only green banner in the top 6. I'm seeing pink banners all the way. Except for Sinister, because he's special. And now, Thunder on a fight. Garuda in 7th. Only 8 seconds ahead of Adnap. That's taken a huge chunk out of his race, hasn't it? Just one small mistake, and Adnap then chasing him down. He's got a target. He's got a target to aim for. Venblue, a solid race there from the GT2 driver. He's a bigger Oliver though. Oh, remember Oliver had that very long stint. He's down in 10th, and we're hoping that the fuel situation is going to make all the difference, but I don't think Thunder's beatable today. He's ahead of some pink boys. Autosport on a combat drive, we saw quite far down, and MJ's had to make his second stop of the day. It's put him dead last, 20 seconds behind Hudds, who's having a solid race. He's getting in the 57s, but it's just a little bit inconsistent there. He wants to work on that consistency. As you can see with Boosted, every lap is in the 54s. He's nearly touching 53s, ladies and gentlemen. But he is prepping for a pit stop. So, yes, Boosted will be into the pits pretty soon. 15 seconds on Incognito, but Incognito with half a tank of fuel is starting, he might be turning the tide in this race, ladies and gentlemen. He might be swaying me the other way if Incognito has brainiaced his win. Brainiac to win here. Bob is just fighting for the comeback. He's had issues earlier in the race, all too many. He's got 99 problems, and Bob at the moment is now 25-second deficit on Incognito, and he's got Chunky Ribena, who is maybe not as fast, but just as pressurizing, and he's got a bit more fuel on board than the Bob. Sinister in 5th, some 8 seconds behind Chunky Ribena, but he's keeping it lovely consistent, and I think he's playing the fuel game at the moment. Thunder is giddy, I imagine, absolutely giddy with his position, leading the GT2 drivers quite healthily. Garuda, after his issues, from 3rd place down to 7th, and he's got a mountain to climb ahead of him. What a shame for him. Adnap happy to see that, though. I tell you what, the more I keep coming to that car, I know it's like the old it's a green version of the Nissan Primera from BTCC. In the days when I watched BTCC, I was there when that car won the championship at Silverstone. I want to say Anthony Reid, but I might be wrong. But Adnap in a lovely green version of that car. I like it. I'm here for it. But I don't know how much he likes the Silvia. Remember, this is the man that won the championship last season. And at the moment, sitting in 8th place is not what he is used to. Boosted into the pits. Boosters into the pits. Incognito has a huge amount of fuel on board. We are now going to get a 200-mile-per-hour game of chess. He won the WDC, Deacon. Deacon has to keep reminding me he won the individual championship last season, though. He won the WDC, not the Constructors. Shall we put it that way? We had 3 champions. Well, we had 4 champions, didn't we? It was, where is he as well? Tommy. Didn't Tommy want to take part in this? Tommy Roo. Tommy Roo was the champion of the Group 3 cars, the AM series. Boosted coming out now. I thought he dropped behind Bob and Chunky Ribena. No, he's managed. His team's managed to get him out on track with a lovely bit of thin and empty space. Again, short filling and keeping on the same tyres. This is an interesting strategy from Boosted.
Champions and 1 team championships.
Yeah, 4 champions it was. From last season, that was good, wasn't it? It's healthy. I don't know if MJ has to buy the trophies himself. Guess expensive. So Bob, at the moment, 4.3 seconds behind Boosted, and only really just over a quarter of a tank fuel less.
More expensive.
Oh yeah, for you Americans, the shipping is more expensive. I think I remember seeing that coming up in the general chat, in all fairness. Incognito at the moment leading this race, and he's pulled out some fast times, a 54.1. Has he been sandbagging for the last few laps? Well, for the early part of this race, a 54.6. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we are on for a race here. 2 different strategies. Pace is very similar. And Deacon Dewey in the chat saying I may get custom tag team championship belts made for Sinister and I. You can share them quarterly. So Incognito at the moment making a race for this from Boosted's aspect. Boosted doing some keeping the same tyres on, short filling every time. Maybe the Ferrari just doesn't feel very well. Very good at the heaviest weight. Someone's come out of the pits. I've missed that pit stop, I'm afraid. It's Hudds. Hudds has pitted. I don't think he was due a pit stop. so he may have picked damage up, but Hud's putting fresh tyres on and some more fuel. MJ now ahead of him, waiting for the rest of the field to pit to see whereabouts he is, but he had that damage early on, we assume, and that has put him on the back foot here at Daytona. And it's turned into a testing session for him and the Bugatti. Now, I do believe they've got up to 2 rounds to change cars. And Deacon do say, no, that would mean 2 belts, 1 for each. No, I mean, you could share it quarterly, like send it to each other. One has it for the first 3 months of the year, and then the next one has it. So, yeah, MJ. But they do have the option. Is that a rear spoiler, or is that like a trolley handle? It looks like what you Tesco's trolley handle.
I'll just get 2 belts made LOL.
Oh yeah, Deacon do decide he's just going to get 2 belts done. But yeah, I think that rear spoiler on the Bugatti does look like the Tesco's trolley handle. Must be based on it. Deacon do, yeah, it's a trolley handle, lol. So yeah, they get two rounds to change cars if they're not happy with their choices. And at the moment, Incognito and Boosted, the Ferrari and the McLaren, very much like the last season, the Constructors season. And as Deacon do will tell you, the Constructors is more important than the actual Drivers' Championship. So yeah, Ferrari and McLaren showdown from Incognito and Boosted. Bob in the shag, trying to give it some large chunky in that sexy Genesis. What an absolute... He does the best liveries, I've got to say. Well, he's not just him. They're all very good livery makers out there. Thunder in 5th now. Sinister must have been the one that pitted. No, he has not pitted. So Thunder... sorry, as I was going through the pack, Thunder has managed to get a move done on Sinister, and Sinister is picking up a penalty, unfortunately. So Thunder absolutely driving out of his skin here in the Lambo and mixing it with the GT1 guys. Garuda on a comeback. We've seen we saw Bob make an amazing comeback earlier in this race, so we know it is doable, but it is a huge achievement to try, and Garuda will try as he might. And Deacon Do saying, hey, I had 2 goals last season, win here at Daytona and win the team championship. I accomplished both, the win at Sardinia and all the podiums were icing on the cake. You had a massive season, Deacon Do, it has to be said. Huge season, great stuff. Always a pleasure to watch you do your thing. So Garuda in the Audi. Oh, we're getting close to that time. Oh, there's so many nice cars out there. What engine? So it looks like Sinister is not going into the pits. Oh, it looks like Sinister may have given up on this race. He's trying to drive over that line, but they keep putting him back on the track. He's not out of fuel. He's got a penalty. Oh, he's coming into the pits. Maybe he's going in to park it. And maybe we'll see someone fall out with the Mercedes team. Go for the Corvette. I've heard the Group 4 Corvette is just as much fun. And Deacon Do even doing the question mark there. Not sure what Sinister is up to here. It looks like he's conceding this race on home grounds. I think he's got a rattle in the car. Group 4 Corvette is meh, to be honest. Yeah. I don't think that Mercedes is much cop, though. Swap like for like. Incognito then leads this race. The fuel is getting lower, though. Boosted chasing him. Bob in 3rd with Chunky Ribena setting chase as well. There's a yellow flag up ahead. It's none of our leaders. So I'm not sure where the yellow flag is and who it's for. Thunder in 5th, 12 seconds behind Chunky. Garuda is cutting into that time, though. It was 7 seconds. Oh, Chunky says hi. Yes, say hello back to him for me. Say he's having a cracking race. Come on, podium. Say podium in capital letters. Adnap, he's ready for a pit stop. And Garuda, he's doing fine, you know. Garuda closing in on Thunder. Chunky seems safe from behind. And he's got better fuel usage. He's got better fuel usage than Bob. So all he has to do is stay close to Bob, and he should be able to outpit him. Get boosted at half a tank of fuel, and that is definitely... Oh, he's quite away from his pits. Adnap into the pits now. And, Ven Blue's done all right with the fuel, though. And Oliver, still half a tank. I tell you, Oliver might be a surprise shout here with the fuel usage in the Porsche. This might turn into the Porsche Cayman Cup by the end of the season, but after round 2. Because that Porsche is fantastic on fuel. And I think Ven Blue made a small mistake there and let Oliver get through. I don't think there was contact, but maybe. Adnap dropping down the order as they go through. Autosport up and into 9th place. Did we lose Sinister? He's just sat in the pits. Yeah, it could be anything. It could be an emergency at home. He's had to park it and deal with that. So we won't jump to conclusions. Incognito fancies another lap on this fuel tank and goes around again. Boosted, not able to close in since his pit stop. He has saved those old tyres now. I think it may be a mistake. I don't know how you save a second or two for not changing the tyres, but it looked like MJ was really struggling with grip come the end of his stint. So I don't know if keeping the same tyres on is the way forward. Chunky Ribena, meanwhile, though, better on fuel, has stayed in the tow. Maybe Chunky has done this by design. He's just decided to sit behind Bob after he lost Garuda to follow. Maybe he thought he'll sit just behind Bob, follow him through, save fuel. All is good in the hood. Garuda and Thunder. Garuda down to 3.6 seconds now. Garuda really is driving like a force to be reckoned with. And Thunder punching way above his weight. He's probably thinking podiums himself. He's probably thinking, hey, I'll tell you what, 1 or 2 people have problems ahead of me, and I am picking up silverware. Well, he already is. He's winning. He's winning the GT2 group, obviously, but getting on the actual podium, there's got to be a real feather in your cap. Garuda in 6th, but he is closing in on Thunder. He wants to spoil Thunder's party. 7th, Oliver and Ven Blue absolutely duking it out, but Ven Blue needs fuel. Oliver does not. Side by side, breaking into the large hairpin. Well, it's not that large. The tight hairpin. And they both survive with Oliver just ahead. Oh, no! We've had contact. No, these two were having such a great race. And oh, bless Ven Blue. He is waiting to let Oliver through. And Oliver then goes through, but he's lost a huge chunk of time. And that, ladies and gents, lets Autosport close in quite nicely with them. We've got a lot of pit stops up at the front. Boosted back in the lead as Incognito comes in, Bob comes in, and Chunky Ribena all pits. Thunder has fuel. Thunder's going to move up to 2nd place. It makes me happy. It gives me a warm feeling inside. And there he goes. Look at him. Thunder ready for the big time. And also Garuda back in that 3rd. Feel comfortable. Ooh, he's risking it with the fuel though. No, Incognito, sorry, comes out of the pits just ahead of Thunder. So Thunder in 3rd then, with Incognito 22 seconds behind Boosted, but Boosted is half a tank of fuel and very old tyres, and he's going to look at all the marbles on the track. If you go off the racing line, there's going to be no grip out there whatsoever. Lap 32, we're 1 hour in. My good golly gosh, it's going to be time for our a break from me. And Deacon said, did Thunder take turn 1 wide? No, looks good. He asked and answered his own question. I love it. I didn't even have to be involved in that one. Vodka Rob, marbles are horrible here. Yeah, you can see them, can't you? Look at the track, it looks filthy. So Boosted leads incognito by 22.3 seconds, but they're on different strategies. Thunder is up to third, but he does need to pit, with Garuda also needing to pit just behind him. Bob is the true third place, but the Chunk, no, I tell you what, we're going to sit on board. We'll give you a preview of Chunky's channel, but on with his voice muted. Hang on. I shall return. Tell them not to do too much too drastic. Well, we know Thunder and Garuda are going to pit. I'll wait. That's okay, I'll wait. We're very close. They're just about to go in now. There goes Thunder. And there goes Garuda. So that will put Chunky and Bob back in third and fourth. And Oliver without his pit stops, I think he's going to be ahead of Thunder and Garuda as well. Oh, in the tow zone! Oh, and he pulls out of it, but has he got the grunt to get by? I just don't think he's going to get back in the Shag's tow again. As they head up towards the start-finish straight. Is he going to try and make a move in this corner? No, he backs out. And I honestly think it's a fuel save effort from Chunky to sit behind Bob. I think he knows he's got the pace of Bob. And he might be in with a chance for the fight at the end. Chunky racing like a NASCAR driver. Okay, I shall return. Thunder's out in sixth. Garuda yet to come out yet, and it looks like Autosports got in between them. So beautiful stuff. That's a little saving grace for Thunder. Hang on, I am going to go. This race is too interesting, you buggers. So Oliver then, quarter of a tank of fuel, 7 seconds behind the Chunk who has pitted, and Thunder who has now pitted. Autosport, he can go for a little while, whilst Garuda is back out. But that is good news for Thunder, because now he's got the buffer of Autosport betwixt him and Garuda. Right, back to Chunky, because that was intense. On board, I shall return. See you soon. Oh, ha, ha, hello, I'm back again. Am I detecting bump drafting? Am I seeing bump drafting here? Is that not beautiful? Is that not a sight? Are we not having a real NASCAR race here? I believe Bob and Chunky have turned this into a true NASCAR event, and I am here for it. I like it. Boosted then is leading by 21 seconds, but he is nearly at the end of his stint. And then TNT, has he got enough? TNT. Incognito there, has he got enough? I don't believe so to get to the end of this race. I don't think so. If he was Oliver, maybe. But no. He's going to have to make another stop as well. Bob and Chunky are having it. And I am here for it. Oh, I tell thee, if you're not on Chunky's channel rather than mine, he must be sat there with a big rubbery one on. He's going to call his wife in after he's raced. Prepare yourself, Mrs. Chunky. You're in for a good time. Oliver, he's finally running out of fuel, and he's going to be thinking about a pit stop, which will put Thunder up, and Garuda has... Oh no, we've lost Autosport. He pitted. There we go. So Autosport pitted, and that is why Garuda is ahead. I tell thee, this is a cracking race. Look at Adnap down in 8th. You wouldn't expect it. Ven Blue fighting hard in 9th with Autosport 10th. The Hoods in 11th. MJ in 12th. Oh, he's picking up penalties though, is MJ. He's no friend of Massey's. It's because I imagine you can't stare. I bet all his penalties are going wide in corners, not for cutting corners, but just going out wide. Never understand why you get a penalty for going out wide. It's, I suppose, yeah, Red Bull, you can gain an advantage. At Red Bull Ring, sorry. And Sinister still attending to whatever issue is causing him ailments. So Boosted is into the pits. The race is on, ladies and gents. We still don't know who's going to win this one. Incognito has slowly been chipping away. He was, what, 22, 23 seconds behind? And he's got it down to 20 seconds. Boosted's going to have to change tyres and fuel up. Oliver finally making that pit stop. And he's not even at his box yet. And Adnap is on his way around. Boosted then, he's coming around. I'm sure he's going to be in on this lap. Incognito, still a nice whack of fuel in there, but I think he might need a splash-o dash to get to the end. Maybe that's why we saw Boosted do that short stint at the beginning. And now Boosted is in, so Incognito would take over the lead of the race until he either has to pit stop or I think he's going to have to pit stop, ladies and gents. Bob is pulling away from the Chunks now, and he's burning more fuel than Chunky. If there is another pit, and I believe there will be another pit stop in it. Thunder, look at you go, bro. I am here for it. Beautiful stuff. So I assume Boosted's going to get out. Yeah, he's nearly a minute ahead of Bob. So I imagine that Booster's going to get out before the Bob arrives on the scene. But the Bob is, he's got his hands full with Chunky at the moment. Thunder in 5th. Garuda is 6th. Adnap is in 7th. Ven Blue is 8th. Oliver, sorry, is in 9th. Autosport in 10th. And Autosport's had a fair race. Yeah, he had a pit stop there, but he's had a fair race. But early doors, something went amiss that put him down the order. Hoods is finding his feet, new to the group, I believe. I think he took part 1 race last season near the end, or 1 or 2 races. Felt he was off the pace, but already you can see he's in the shout. He's ahead of MJ, who has had an absolutely awful race. But it's his own choosing, it's his own fault for picking that car. That's its original. It can't be, because it's got a green banner. I thought it was its original livery. And Sinister at the moment sitting in the pits, reckless. Didn't get. He got about 30 minutes into the race. But Incognito at the moment, he's hoping for rain. He's got his wipers on. Tell me you sit on bumper cam without telling me you sit on bumper cam. Oh no, it's gone. He's turned them off. Boosted back out. 12 seconds. Oh no! Hey, have we got rain? We can't. He's put intermediate tyres on and he's got no fuel on. Something went very wrong at his pit stop, ladies and gentlemen. Something went terribly wrong. He had a right... he just started punching buttons. I don't know what. He did a Ferrari... Well, it is Ferrari, I suppose. It's in keeping. It is how it should be. So Incognito may have just been gifted this race. I don't know if he's done the wrong tyres and forgot fuel. I don't think it rains here, though, does it? It doesn't rain here. It's America. I mean, in real life, Florida, I've been on holiday there. It's quite rainy. Very rainy. It's swamps. So Bob going up and into second, being chased very closely by the Chunk. And I don't know what's happened there in the Ferrari pit garage. The wrong tyres, no fuel. It's all gone completely Pete Tong. Bob, meanwhile, second. Hey, Thunder is... No, he's not up to fourth. That's the second time they've done that. Incognito did that to him as well, didn't it? So, boosted, yeah, racing mediums. And 3/4 of a tank of fuel, but my good golly gosh, some 56 seconds behind his main rival. That is a huge one. Absolute huge from the pit crew. Thunder in fifth, our top GT2 runner. And no one's threatening him for that win, I tell thee. Garuda in sixth. He's been slowly chipping away at Thunder, but Thunder's got the pace. Adnap, he's getting to know the Nissan, it seems. Seventh though, first time out. It's not terrible. Oliver with his magnificent, never-ending Mary Poppins style petrol tank, gas tank for the Americans. The eighth, and I think I doubt he's going to pit again for the rest of this race, so he could be here to scoop up some humongous points there. Vemblue in the Shag doing fantastic in ninth. Autosport in 10th. He's come back a lot, you know. He was down and out, and he's in 10th at the moment, ahead of MJ, who's recently got himself ahead of Hoods. It looks like they've got a couple of lappers coming up towards them now. I don't think it's Incognito, it's somewhere. It might be boosted. I honestly don't know who's lapping MJ. It's Thunder. Yeah, Thunder, he pick up a toe. He's got boosted behind him. He's got boosted ahead of him. Sorry, not behind him. He's got Garuda behind him. Getting myself confused. But yeah, so Thunder closing in on Hoods here. Could pick up a little toe from the lapped car. Help him out against Garuda. Oh, it looks like Hud's pulling right out of the way. Doesn't want to play that game. And Thunder missing out on a toe. But Hud's doesn't. He says, yeah, I'll have the toe though. No, he's not saying the toe. Doesn't want to risk it. Doesn't want to play with the big boys. Thunder, you big boy. Who's a big boy? Who's a big boy? Who are you? Gone pro over the winter, Thunder. Did you? It also has to be said, in all fairness, Adnap, I believe, getting used to a VR headset, so there'll be a slight adjustment. As well, MJ has gone all in, I think. MJ's gone VR and a steering wheel. Oh, more damage for MJ. Yeah, I reckon that Bugatti's getting binned at the end of this race. He's going to go sensible and pick another car. I think the chat should pick MJ's next car. Go on, chat. A Group 4 car. Sirocco. the granny crawler, the Swift. Although the Swift is quite a nice car, actually. It is slow though. Incognito then leads this race ahead of Bob and Chunky Rybina. Boosted has got him. No, keep thinking he's behind Thunder, but he's not. He's got 11 seconds to find Chunky Rybina, and I'm not 100% sure pit stops are not. There's not going to be more pit stops. Oh, and to rub it in, Incognito takes the fastest lap away from Boosted. And that will not go down well in the Ferrari camp. So Get Boosted at the moment, sitting in fourth, was leading, was in the battle. And it looks like the sun, we've made it through the night here at Daytona. And the sun is rising in the background. So the track's going to go through another little period of change, which will be quite a struggle for these guys. It'll suddenly grip up a bit. Bob, 9/10 ahead of the chunk. These guys have been true NASCAR racers throughout this race for us, and I appreciate that. Huge thank you to the chunk and the Bob. Boosted, having a huge error in communications with his pit crew. Thunder in fifth. Garuda pulling in another second in the Honda. Poor Garuda. One small mistake. He was up there in third place, looking very strong ahead of the chunk. And slipping down after a mistake through the chicane. And now having to slowly chip away because there's some very fast drivers up ahead of him in the little Honda. The little Honda that can. Adnap in the Nissan. It's come good. We saw a weird part where he just pulled over and let about 4 cars through after having a great start from what, 12th or 11th all the way up into 7th, and then he slipped back again, and now he's back up and into 7th. It's good points. It's a starting, I mean, that's a net 6th in his table, because Thunder is obviously, it can't be counted. So 6th place, and he's behind some very fast people. So I can't imagine it's not the worst start to a campaign. Let's just put it that way. Oliver looking good for 2nd place in the GT2 runners at the moment. I can't see that he's going to get Thunder, but his fuel is amazing, so it could well happen. Thunder could be in trouble if he starts burning through fuel a lot, because Oliver's fuel consumption is great. And Thunder saying he got bumped off by Bob. Who did? Sinister. We saw that. We saw Sinister and Bob give as good as each other. But I don't know who. Who did? Garuda? No way. He was on his own. We saw the replay, I think. So Garuda then 1.8 seconds on Thunder. I tell you what, Thunder, you concentrate on your racing, not so much on your typing, because this is a big one. We've got 37 minutes left of this race. Thunder leading the GT2 category, 5th overall, and he has Garuda chasing him down, but he is matching him for pace. Garuda 55.2 and a 55.7 last time from Thunder. The fuel is a bit better for Thunder, and Garuda's got a fight on his hands. He's going to have to pressure Thunder into a mistake on this one. Boosted has pulled a couple of seconds in on Chunky, but Chunky in Bob's toe is going to be smooth sailing. It's going to be a struggle for Boosted to find the pace to catch up with Chunky. All the time he is surfing the draft. Incognito, I bet he can't believe his luck, the way this has turned out. I bet he doesn't really understand why he can't see. Well, they're all in chat with each other, in all fairness. So, but yeah, I imagine he's wondering why Boosted is not around anymore. Oh, it's getting tight between Chunky and Bob. And Chunky then, is he pulling the trigger on it finally? There's no bump draft in there at the moment. Ooh, and the Bob gets himself into the corner, but it's very tight between these two competitors, with Chunky in the Genesis, Bob in the Jaguar, and it's nip and tuck between these two racers here. Very fine racing, it has to be said, as the sun rises here in Florida for the Daytona Road Course, the WRC's first round, the Sports Car Cup, the SCC. And Chunky really having a close look at the shag there. I bet Chunky could tell you all sorts of details about the back of that Jaguar. He's au fait with the livery. So what else we got? Boosted, he's on a hunt. And this is why Chunky won't want to be held up too much by Bob. He'll be like, no, we've got to get gone. We've got to get gone, Bob, because we've got a Boosted on our tail. And Boosted still maybe feeling that second place is in this race for him. He may not be able to get that first unless something terrible happens to Incognito. Thunder still ahead of Garuda. Garuda pacing himself, but Thunder's fuel in a better state than Garuda's. So, ooh, no, I thought so. Oh, Chunky's gone past, sorry. Chunky has finally pulled the trigger, and he's through and ahead. But Bob is using a bit more fuel, so maybe tactically Bob's decided to drop back and pick up the tow from Chunky a little bit. No, he's not in the tow, he's coming back at Chunky. It's race on here and for second place, ladies and gents. And Chunky fighting with the Bob. And no quarter given between these two competitors here. Absolutely cracking stuff. And it's good for Boosted though, costing them time with them dicing here, there and everywhere. It is handing Boosted an absolute gift. These two just want to be getting on with it. 55.8 from Chunky, and we've seen they're doing low 55s before. Bob as well, 55.8. He was doing mid 55s, and Chunky going for a late move there, and I believe he pulled that one off. No contact toe, no touching. Beautiful stuff there from Chunky. Clean as, I may be wrong, someone might show me a replay of that and say there was contact, but from where I sat it looked clean as a whistle. Absolutely solid move from the Chunks, but now he is vulnerable from the toe and Bob is chasing him. Adnap into the pits for, I wouldn't even like to guarantee to say the final time. Bob then with that toe gets back ahead of Chunky, and Chunky, he just wants to get on with it. He needs to get those lap times in because he knows Get Boosted is hunting him down, and again through the chicane he can take the Genesis faster than the Shag, comes back out wide, and this is I mean, they're racing each other, but they've got to realise they've got a very, very fast alien chasing up behind them, and they've got to work together. They shouldn't be racing each other. They should be working together. Leave this shenanigans, ladies and gents, till the last lap. You've got 30 minutes yet. But with their tussling and hustling and bustling, it is really handing Boosted a ticket to ride. Thunder then 1 second ahead of Garuda. Garuda will be picking up a toe, very slightly, but he will be picking up a toe from Thunder. Thunder is now in the danger zone. Although I think Thunder's fuel is a lot better than Garuda's. Well, not a lot better, but it is better. Oh, Adnap got bumped off by Bob. Deacon Do, you took the words right out of my mouth. They should be working together here. It's, yeah, it's what it would be the smart thing to do. They know how fast Boosted is. They know what danger, what a weapon Boosted is. And now he's got a fire in his belly because his pit stops really probably got on his nerves. He's probably really hacked off. He hasn't got the fastest lap, which will be a big deal to him as well. So all of these things being boosted has picked up probably another 0.3 a second a lap faster through just emotions. And yeah, look, there he goes. Wow. So yeah, Chunky and Chunky's picked up a penalty. He's not a penguin, it's a penalty. And Bob's has got to go into the pits. Maybe it was tactical from Bob to try and slow Chunk down because he knew he was going to have to pit before him. And with that penalty, that's really stuffed the boosted up. I mean, not boosted Chunky up. I'm falling over my words. Hey, we've been racing for an hour and a half. Bob's in, Chunky's chased him in. So Boosted will get a bye up to second place, but I think he may still have a pit stop left in him as... Oh, and Incognito's got a pit stop now. Now then, I don't think Boosted's going to get ahead of Incognito. I think they're losing around about 30 seconds for a pit stop. 30 or 40 seconds, but still. Thunder up and into third place, ladies and gents. I kid thee not, but Garuda has something to say about it. Although Garuda, he's going to be in at the end of this lap. Thunder will not. You think about that for a while. So Oliver and his amazing fuel tank, half a tank of fuel. I surmised he wasn't going to pit again in this race, but he may do. But he's a little too far behind Bob and Chunky to make an impact. Looks like 7th place is Oliver's lot today. Incognito into the pits. And Chunky and Bob back out. Are they at it still? How have they dealt with Chunky's? Did he lose the 5 seconds in the pit stop? They must have done. Nice. Nice. So Chunky, even though with that 5-second penalty, isn't too far off. Bob's is full up with fuel, fresh medium tyres for the end of this race, with Chunky doing exactly the same. Incognito is into the pits but still not filling up. He's just got to his box. Boosted is driving like the devil himself to try and oh, it's gone all grey. It's gone overcast. The track has cooled down a little bit. That will help with tyre wear. Doesn't help with grip. Thunder at the moment, absolutely oofing it in third, but he's definitely in danger here. But I think Garuda going in to the pits. Thunder staying out. Beautiful stuff. Thunder in third. Legit. Bob and Chunky. Although, yeah, Thunder probably will pit. Well, Thunder probably in the next 27 minutes. He can try and make that little slither of fuel last, surely. He's just got to lift and coast. Thunder, lift and coast. So Garuda into the pits, and that'll put Bob and Chunks back ahead as they are fighting out for second place in this race. Oliver in 7th now. Garuda is touchable. No, he's still some way off. What happened to Oliver? He kind of he was getting ahead of these guys in their pit stops, but it seems to have dropped away from that now. He's 5 seconds ahead of Autosport, who's picked up a penalty. And Adnap, we saw recently pitting, didn't change his tyres though, just fuel. He's way ahead of Ven Blue. He was racing Ven Blue. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. There's Ven Blue. He's also pitted but not put on any tyres. No, that's Adnap again. Why am I pressing the wrong buttons? I can't find 10. There you go. So there's Ven Blue, sorry. Yeah, he's put on new tyres, I think. 57 seconds behind Adnap. I don't think he's going to catch him in the race so far. MJ, another dismal race. His bad luck continuing from last season. He's got to turn it around. He's got to find a way to turn this one around. And Hood's dipping his toe, should we say, dipping his toe into the long form race format. And Sinister still trying to find what that knocking is in the car. So there's Thunder into the pits then. That'll put Bob and Chunky back into, well, not back, at third and fourth now. Boosted, he'll be pitting pretty soon. So that possibly puts Bob and, oh no, is that another penalty? Poor old Chunky. He's picking up penalties left, right and centre. He is pushing on hard, ladies and gents. Thunder into the pits. Thunder saying, by the way, 1 sub away from 150. Oh, yeah, I was going to start this. I was going to say, yeah, my 2025, let's, by the end of the year, let's push it. Oh, there's a yellow flag. What is that for? Anyone? I think it's a back marker. I think it's Ven Blue. Yeah, Ven Blue looked like he had an issue there as Bob comes up across. Yeah, I was going to say, big push this year. I want to get to 150 subs by the end of the year. So tell a friend, please. Let's see if we can get it to 150. That's the big one. So Incognito leading this race, 6.2 seconds after his pit stop ahead of Boosted, but Boosted is going to have to pit again. Wow, that is, I said...
Because of the placement. Big reason I beat Boosted here last season. He had 7 penalties and I had 2.
Ah, here we go. Deacon Do in the chat saying penalties are killer here because of the placement. Big reason I beat Boosted here last season. He had 7 penalties and I had 2. So really, it's not been too bad so far. We've seen Chunky pick up a couple. Adnap, I think, had a bad one. A bad timed one, I mean. So Boosted then into the pits. I think he's racing for second place, isn't he? He wants to get past Bob and Chunky with this pit stop. Chunky, after picking those penalties up, he does cut that chicane very tight, and he's picked up a toe from Ven Blue, his pink shag. But Bob seems to be pelting it at the minute. So Incognito leads by 6 seconds. One small mistake gives everything away, but Boosted is looking for the pit entry on his next time around. He's quite away from it. Bob at the moment fighting off the Chunks, who is a good 11 seconds ahead of Thunder. Good pit stop from Thunder. I tell you, he's in the fight, ladies and gents. Garuda, he's pulled away from Garuda again. He's had to put, he hasn't put in as much fuel. Is this the fuel we're seeing to get him to the end of the race? 22 minutes left on the clock. And Garuda has got a huge fight on his hands against Thunder. This is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. And second place for Oliver in the GT2 category. 7th on track. Autosport. Is he going to be 3rd? Possibly. Oh, back to his podium ways, if that's the way it ends up. We've got Ven Blue, he's some way away from him. And MJ with Hoods. So yeah, Oliver and Autosport, they're looking solid for a 1-2-3 here. Incognito looking good for the win, has Boosted into the pits, and as we heard from Deacon Do last season, Boosted lost out at Daytona through penalties, and this time through a Ferrari-style pit stop. Is he going to put wet tyres on this time with no fuel? What combo would Boosted be going for? Bob, meanwhile, once that second place back, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight when Boosted leaves the pits. Bob and Chunky are going to be amidst it. We are going to have a podium showdown. A standoff for the podium. Thunder, 12.3 seconds adrift of those guys, but I think he cares not. Cares not. Because he is absolutely... Well, Bob is through and Chunky is through. That surprises me. They've released the boosted and he is ahead just of Bob and Chunky. Whew! Well, they've redeemed themselves, haven't they? Ferrari, pit stops, they've got him out just in time. And he's 52 seconds adrift from Incognito, who we believe might be able to go all the way to the end of this race in that little McLaren. With boosted in the Ferrari, with one absolute clanger of a pit stop causing him, well, we don't know. We were robbed. We were robbed whether or not he was going to get him the win or not. Because Incognito was on a different strategy, so we will never know. Bob, he's had his elbows out in this race. Him and Sinister having a to-do earlier on, but he's been racing out, and there is rumour he'd had Adnap off the road. Not that we saw. We don't deal with gossip here at Thingamajigs Racing Channel, just facts. But the racing we've seen with Chunky has been delightful, been fantastic. So Bob and Chunky absolutely stonking racing from the pair of them. And it looks like Chunky is on the Insurgents again. He wants to get by. What a beautiful shot of the two cars there through the embankment. Beautiful stuff. We're back to NASCAR here with Chunky and Bob, it seems, and I am here for it. And see, if only they'd worked together earlier, maybe they would have been ahead of Boosted. Boosted only 5 seconds up the road, but with the pace that Boosted has shown, I can't see that Bob and Chunky, so this now is just a fight for third place. And Chunky would love to start the season after missing most of last season, apart from one, maybe two races. And he was in a Duff car. He was in the diesel hybrid. That he would he'd like to start this season with a podium. What a great start to 2025. And Bob holding on to the apex and not giving anything away. Chunky throwing all he can at it. Thunder in fifth. We've had some shuffling down here. Garuda's dropped back a little bit from Thunder. Is he worried about fuel management getting to the end? 18 minutes away from the end of the race. And Adnat now up and into seventh because Oliver's had to pit. Oh, the Porsche. We thought it was going all the way to the end, but that is great for Adnap. And I mean, it's a net sixth in his championship because of Thunder being a GT2 driver. So, and we don't know what may happen to Bob if there is problems, if there is issues, if there be any kind of penalties incurred. So nothing. It's nothing too bad for Adnap. He's had good pace, 57s and 59s at the moment, but those tyres are absolutely shot. Oliver, 22 seconds behind. He'd have to go some to catch him up. He can do 56s in the Porsche, with Adnap in the 57s. He's got to do some absolute banging lap times as Oliver if he wants that 7th place back. Or Adnap's going to pit now. Autosport, third in category, 9th on track. It's been not a bad race from him, to tell you the truth. He was down and out early doors. I had him written off, and he's come back. Ven Blue somehow. Why is 10th? The iPad shines off of 10th, so I can't see it. 0, should I say? So yeah, Ven Blue was in the fight there, won him for a while. I don't know really what happened to him. If he picked up some damage up, maybe had to take an unscheduled pit stop. MJ, I mean, he's ahead of Hoods and Sinister and Reckless, and that is pretty much all you can say about his race. it's back to the drawing board for MJ. He's got another pit stop to do as well before we get to the checkered flag. And I mean, yes, he's getting used to a wheel, going from a controller to the steering wheel. Big leaps, big steps. And I believe he's using VR as well. 2 hours around Daytona, that could cause a little bit of motion sickness. So MJ, it's going to come good this season. I can feel it. Huds is into the pits, and I believe we'll see MJ into the pits as well. Incognito 51 seconds ahead of Boosted after Boosted's pit stop. Boosted carrying a quarter of a tank more fuel than everyone else that we've seen pitted. These two still at it. Chunky and Bob. The fight for that final podium position. And Thunder, I imagine, 13 seconds behind them, is hoping they take each other out in a most spectacular way. That would be the optimum for Thunder. Whoa, is Thunder had an off? Someone had an off, didn't they? Is it Ven Blue? Maybe. So Ven Blue going a lap ahead of Huds as he comes out of the pits. Chunky then. Jeez, it's so tight. That the front left fender of Chunky quite badly battered. It looked battered anyway when it was going around the corner. It's, where he keeps trying to shove his nose in there, and I think it's had the door closed on it once or twice, it looks like. And Bob, he's not playing about. Bob wants that podium. Great start to the season. And Chunky Ribena, though, giving him a race for his money. Thunder, can he stay ahead of Garuda? I mean, Garuda's 36 seconds ahead of Adnap. He could just look after his fuel. It's not a position lost, I believe, in the championship table for Garuda. And that's a lot of effort to go. I'll tell you what, though.
Pushing Bob to try to catch Boosted. I know it's a
yeah,
gap, but it's possible.
I was thinking the same thing with Thunder and Garuda, really. They're only 12 seconds behind Chunky Ribena. If they got themselves into a bit of a bump draft situation, they might be able to close up, but 13 minutes left on the clock. Huge risk, but it's not a risk for the championship for either of them. Thunder, slow down. Let Boosted, let Boosted push you. Garuda, sorry, push you. It's no loss in your championship. You even if Garuda went past you, you lose nothing. And you could bump draft each other to try and catch up Chunky and Bob. But Chunky and Bob, because they obviously are not going to work together. They're going to hinder each other in the last few laps. Oh, again with Chunky having a look. Chunky definitely having a look up the inside. Chunky doesn't want to mess around anymore. He's sick to the back teeth of the back of that Jaguar. He's looked at it for too long in this race, and he wants past. So Bob then and Chunky. Yeah, I don't think they're working together, these pair. I think they are actually battling, and they're losing time over it. Both of them doing a 56 that last time around. Thunder a 56.4 as well. See if he was working. Oh, work with Ven Blue. Ven Blue will help you. Just get right up Ven Blue's butt and bash him. Bash that back end like it was your ex-wife. 3 then, third place Bob, staying ahead of the Chunk. Boosted. There's no pit stop happened there for Incognito with 11 minutes on the clock, half a tank of fuel. Incognito has got this one, I believe, all sewn up. Sorry, I answered Deacon Do. I didn't actually read it out, which I try and do. Deacon Do saying I'd be pushing Bob to try and catch Boosted. I know it's a huge gap, but it is possible. Yeah, no, I've seen it done. I've seen it done before. Someone from way back managing to catch up with someone, and then they just bumped their way through the pack. It was impressive. So again, Chunky having another look at the Bob. And these two should be losing so much time with this racing. But Thunder isn't gaining on him. So Thunder losing time as well. I don't know if he's made a mistake. Well, he's got himself past Van Blue. And maybe that's what's lost him some time. Garuda, 4 seconds. Thunder, man, I'm sure you're listening. You should just drop back, but it's too late now. I mean, the time to do it was 4 or 5 minutes ago. But yeah, you're not losing any championship positions, even if you do get into a battle with Garuda. So letting Garuda push you into fighting chance, because Chunky and Bob, I think by the last 10 minutes of this race, well, we're into the last 10 minutes, they're going to start taking slices off of each other. It looks like Chunky is starting to get impatient with being behind him, and yeah, I think the racing's going to get a little dicey here. I think these two are going to get a little taut between the pair of them. Great drive for Chunky through that chicane as he closes up to the back of the Bob, and Boosted meanwhile absolutely flying, but not flying enough. Pit stop cost him today. And Chunky then, he's having a look. But Bob keeping hold of that inside line, maintaining dominance on track. But Chunky switched it around. And it looks like... Oh, he had a slide there, did Chunky. But it's all in control. Had him in the chat saying, how do you think Chunky... could take the position? I am honestly not sure. I think he's all out of ideas. Yeah, I don't think he can. I don't think he can actually tow past him. And he's obviously Bob's is not going to make a mistake. Bob can take this pressure all day long. So Chunky, I honestly don't know how he's going to have to risk something. He's going to have to late break it and hope. Hit and hope, I think. Bob's fuel's a little less than Chunky's. But yeah, it's at the moment it's a stalemate between the two of them. And I think Chunky's just going to send it. Late break, send it into one of the hairpins. Incognito then, he's still got that fastest lap. Boosted unable to get the fastest lap away from Incognito. So Boosted with pole, he comes away with just pole. No fastest lap and no win. I don't know who Mitch is. It's not MJ, is it? Because he's hosted. No, he's there in 11th. I mean, MJ 11th, it's not great in the in HMS Bugatti, but there's a few of those. Autosport, Van Blue, Oliver, they're not there. He's really what, 6th, 7th in class, should I say? Boosted going for that fastest lap. Maybe he's leaving it later, so his fuel's lighter. Again, this battle has been phenomenal all race between the Chunk and the Bob. And Bob has absolutely dealt with a lot of pressure. And there we go, Chunky late on them brakes, trying anything he can to distract his opponent and try and find a way past. Unbelievable stuff. It's hard to cut away to look at anything else. Garuda is closing in. He is closing in now. He's got it from 4 seconds down to 2 seconds. Thunder will be feeling that pressure, but with only 6 minutes to go, it is a mountainous job to do for Garuda. Adnap, he's looking pretty for that 7th place. The tyres don't look comfortable, but Little Sylvia is doing its job. Ollie in second place in class, 8th overall. Super job in the Cayman, and it's only going to get better going forward. Although it's second place, is it in danger? Is it in danger, ladies and gents? Because Autosport, where has this come from? He's in the 55s. He's on alien pace now, is Autosport. And Oliver, 57s, he's going to be in trouble. Autosport saving it to the end and looking like a podium's not good enough. He wants second place. Fantastic stuff. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll come back. Ben Blue, 4th in class. Oh, he's been carrying a bit of damage there on his suspension, it seems. He must have hit a pothole. MJ, having Bugatti problems, in 11th with Hoods. Is 5th in class. So the Bob and Chunky battle, we've come back again. Chunky looking one way, looking another. He just wants a little bit of cohesion so he can get through and get this job done. Unbelievable racing. We've got 4.5 minutes on the clock. And Chunky Ribena has spent, what, an hour and 10 minutes sat behind Bob. And he wants to get past now in these last few minutes. They have been the source of great entertainment for us during this race, amongst other many things, but these two have proper been NASCARing it. And Chunky Ribena then with the toe, having a look, and again pulling in. It just doesn't look like the Genesis has got the grunt that the Shag has got. And Bob playing survival ahead of the Chunk. Again, Chunk on... there you go. The Chunk back on the toe. And I'm not sure. Is Bob trying to wiggle a little bit to try and stop a toe? No, he looks straight now. It must have been just a weird oscillation in the corner, or a bit of a bad net code, as they call it. But Chunky then, he's pulled the trigger. He's got to late brake this one, but he's not going to be able to. It's a battle royale, ladies and gents. I can't even find the cars. There we go. And wow, both of them late onto the brakes into that corner. They really wanted it. We've got, what, virtually 2 laps left, and Chunky again having another look at Bob. He's got something. He's up alongside him, but Bob's on the inside for the fast corner, and Chunky just slightly nose ahead as they go through the sweeping right-hander, and Chunk... Oh, they've touched each other a little bit, but it was in the braking zone. Chunky managing to slow the car down, but Bob having a little knock with that rear quarter, trying to pit stop him. I'm sure he's not. I'm sure it was just the racing. And at the moment then, Chunk is ahead. Chunky Ribena in 3rd. Bob is 4th. But, ladies and gents, has he done it too soon? Because now he's open to the toe. And Bob could use that to try and get by him before the end of this race. Chunky Ribena, all he can do is keep his foot purely planted. Is Bob trying? That looked like a little contact there. And Bob then on the braking into the chicane. This could all end in tears. They're racing so close together. And Thunder isn't gaining, and nor is Garuda on Thunder. So this is the race, ladies and gents, and Bob, he seems to be a little bit healthier now after going through that chicane. I don't know if there was some slight contact there. It's hard to tell. And Chunky then resetting for another lap as they go. They've gone across the line. This is the final lap for these guys. Incognito's picked up a penalty, but with a 47.5 second lead, I think he's fine. With a minute and a half on the clock, he is going to have to do another lap, I'm pretty sure. Boosted. Oh, Boosted, if he eases off, he could finish. This could be his last lap. Bob and Chunky absolutely white-knuckling this race here in the final few laps. Chunky's gone out wide there, though, for some reason. And Bob, I don't know if it's the grip, but it looks like this fight is defused now with a second between them. It looks like Chunky went a little late on the brakes in that last corner. 30 seconds on the clock, and I think that'll be Boosted coming to the line, is it? No. Sorry. So we've got Oliver just ahead of Autosport. This is for second and third in the GT1s. They're going to get across the line and have to do another lap. And yeah, these guys doing another lap. Autosport, another chance for him to try and get past the K-Man. Van Blue. Oh, who's going across that line? It was bloody Boosted. It was Boosted, by the way. Boosted finishes in second place. Great drive from the Boosteds. And I believe MJ's finished as well. And it's Bob who gets the podium, but he may have to go and see the stewards. Chunky Ribena coming home in fourth. Then Thunder managing to stay ahead of Garuda, but Garuda closing in as they come up to the checkered flag. But it's Thunder who wins in class, fifth in order. And Garuda in sixth. Then we have Van Blue with a huge penalty, but he's got a second. But he's way away ahead of MJ, so he's got no concerns there. As he comes up to the line to finish in fourth in class, I believe. And Hud's fifth in class. Who else is there? So here we go. The winner, ladies and gentlemen, Incognito. A great drive from the McLaren driver, just edging out Boosted. Fantastic. Boosted is second, Bob third, Chunky Ribena in fourth. Thunder wins for the GT2s and finishes in fifth. Garuda in sixth, but fifth. Adnap is in seventh. And it's about as good as race he could probably get. Oliver is the big fight. Here we go. Autosport, no, he can't do it. Oliver stays ahead. Autosport looked like he was going to pull out to do it, but it didn't seem to happen for him. So Oliver finishes second, Autosport in third, but Autosport's trend of podiums still carries on. And that is it. And they're still working on Sinister's car. So our two winners today, ladies and gents, Incognito and OSX Thunder. Great driving by all. Fantastic little championship we've got lined up here, ladies and gentlemen. One to look forward to. I believe we're at Road Atlanta next Friday. And Deacon Do saying, yeah, it's hard to tell with the lag. Yeah, I didn't want to say there was bumping and grinding. We'll let Chunky say that. So, yes, that's the the Sports Car Cup, ladies and gentlemen. 10 rounds of that. And obviously they can change their manufacturer up to the first 2 rounds. MJ. Oh, no one put forward what MJ's going to choose. Was it we chose Swift, did we, in the end? The Swift would probably be better than the Bugatti, in all fairness.
Thank you, Thingy, for another awesome race commentary.
Oh, bless you, Adam.
Phenomenal entertainment, as ever.
And there we go. There is Incognito. Great drive. Did he get the fastest lap? I don't think he got the fastest lap in the end, though, did he? All right, let me quickly get this before everyone closes the room. If I can save it. Yes, he kept the fastest lap, did Incognito. 53.7. Boosted in second. Bob in third. Chunky finished in fourth. Thunder finished fifth, but won for the Group 2 category. Gruder in sixth. Adnap finished in seventh. Oliver finished second in category and eighth overall. And Autosport finished in third. Great podium, Autosport. Well done. Van Blue in fourth. Ninth and 10th, really. MJ in 11th. I think that's 7th. And Huds finished in 6th or something. Sinister didn't quite make the flag. And Reckless didn't like the lag and left. Which is a real shame because I liked his livery. I liked his livery, ladies and gentlemen. And that, ladies and gents, is the SCC, the WRC SCC. Round 1 at Daytona. What an absolute banging race. In the chat then, Adam saying, thank you, Thingy, for another awesome race commentary. Phenomenal entertainment as ever. Well, bless you. Thank you. And Chunky Ribena saying, wow. Fantastic racing, Chunky. Hats off to you, man. How you could keep that close, you and Bob, without hitting each other is a wonder to be known. Oh, wow. It's all back up and running then. 2025, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the world racing community on the off. And then midweek, I'll be doing the replays for URL's League of Champions. Everything is back. Do not concern yourselves. Don't forget, I'm pushing for 150 subs this year by December. That is the big goal. So if you can help me with that, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I was your commentator, Thingamajig. This was Thingamajig's Racing Channel. We just saw the World Racing Community. Come back next Friday for round 2 at Road Atlanta. Tiru, peace and love. Peace and love.